Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, mixing it up on TV 33. Don't stay for the white guy. Uh-oh. Hi, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Mixing It Up. My name is Barry Ross. This show is live. Not only do you see me on your TV screen, you can come and pinch me. I'm right here, right now, in front of you. This show is on TV 33, WHPR, in certain areas of Detroit. We come on Comcast. We're available on Comcast 20 in most of Detroit. But the greatest thing is we also simulcast online. If you go to TV33, WHPR.com, you can check it out. Now, this show, my show, is always, I don't know what your deal is. I want to encourage you to get on my Facebook for this show, Mixing It Up. If you join and you go to videos, you can see all the shows. Also, I have a YouTube channel. You go to ROSS, B like boy, D like David 51. Everything I've ever done is right there on YouTube. Right now, within a week, I'm building a new website. It's going to be Mixing It Up. Malik, can you stay for 2 minutes? Yes. I'm putting everything that I do on one website, mixing it up. Within 10 days, 2 weeks, it's going to be easy. Everything's going to be right there. I want you to call in tonight. 3/4 of the show is going to be Q&A. I'm running a Crime Stoppers tape tonight. And we have, with us tonight, we have Arlissa Hurd. She's responsible for working with the church. Arlissa, what's the name of the church? After Christ Christian Church on Finkel is working with this community on Dexter near John C. Lodge to Chalfonte. We're going to find out all this information. They're doing a cleanup and a board up, and we're going to try to get her some help. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to be out there personally, but we want to make sure that you all know about there's people in the city that are taking care of their own neighborhoods. They're not sitting around waiting for the city to come out because the city's not going to come out. Unfortunately, we got to wait for a new administration for things to change. And I hope that is not the ongoing occurrence. So our list is going to be here in a couple minutes. Malik, I want to talk to you. All right, I want to talk to the public about a project that's going to be going on in the month of May. Now, we've been working with this orthopedic school, Oakman. Roy Roberts wants to close this school for these disabled children. Malik Shabazz and I are sickened about this. They have some abandoned houses around the school, several of them. Within the next week to 10 days, I'm going to disclose the exact date that we're going to be doing this. But in the meantime, we need you to volunteer to help us. We need some donations. You're not contributing, y'all. If you want us to come out and help you in your neighborhood, Malik and I, we can't fund the whole city of Detroit. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, fine. We are waiting around for people to join us in this state of emergency. We got 120,000 abandoned houses. Malik Shabazz is just finished his show, and I've asked him to stick around for a minute. If we can bring him on camera with me for a minute. Hi, Malik.
Hey, Barry.
How are you? I just want to state, and then we can just have a couple minutes to talk about this. Mm-hmm. We need donations.
We need donations. We have formed the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. What this is designed to do is to board up and clean up dirty, dangerous, open, abandoned houses in our city. There are an estimated 115,000 or more abandoned structures within our city, houses and homes, houses and buildings. The city of Detroit, for some strange reason, owns around 65,000 of these properties, which is an abomination in itself. The city of Detroit is not enforcing laws, making bankers and individuals, organizations who own these houses responsible. Many times, Barry, you see our children walking in the middle of the street. And a lot of times people don't understand why we do what we do.
In the suburbs, they don't understand that.
Right. People think it's just gangster. It's just, no, I have a better chance of breaking wide if a pervert runs out of one of these houses if I'm in the street than if I'm on the sidewalk, which puts me in closer proximity. The reason why we board up these houses is because we love the people. These houses are used, Barry, for raping grown women, young women. They will rape a 90-year-old woman in an abandoned house. They will rape a 6-year-old, 7, 10-year-old child in an abandoned house. They will ditch bodies. You murder somebody and you ditch the body in an abandoned house. One of my members' brother body was ditched a few years ago in an abandoned house.
Don't forget how often we hear on the news when there's a fire.
Right.
When and several houses catch on fire, it generally starts in those abandoned houses. Whether it's set
Right.
deliberately or not, it doesn't matter. These abandoned houses have to be secured.
And that's why, Barry, the fire people oftentimes end up losing their life because of these structures. And so what we try to do as a mission of mercy, a labor of love, is to board them up, cut them down, cut the grass down, clean it up. We have some great members in our organization, but we don't have enough of them. We have hard-working members, but we don't have enough. We do this out of pocket. We spent all the money in our account last summer with that major board up where we did like 40-some houses. We cut the vacant fields. We picked up the trash. We planted trees working with Wayne State University. We got a $200 donation from recently from Best
Buy Carpet.
Best Buy Carpet, and we're hoping to get another one from them. But we need some help from the people. Just last Monday, our members went out. Without you and me being there, they went out and boarded up a house next door to a woman. And it's the same scenario all over. No husband, no boyfriend, but a woman with children.
Mm-hmm.
And people are running in and out of the house, doing God knows what. So we're asking you, and when we say you, it means you, for your help. A $5 donation, a $10 donation, a $20 donation. Do whatever you can do. Help us to help you. It makes a difference when you live next door to an abandoned house. I live in between 2 abandoned houses, and the members and you came over and boarded them up, and we're able to sleep better and easier without people going in and out. We've discovered too from our street work that not only are bodies ditched in these houses, not only are rapes occurring in these houses, but they use them as launching pads for grandma and grandpa to come down the street and to rob them. Run down the street, bust them in the head, knock them down, grab their money, run back up in the abandoned house.
It's all in. It's
Also, they use it as smoke shops. You know, crack is often a social disease. So you'll have 20 Negroes, Barry, smoking together. We don't need any of that. Also, these abandoned houses are used for storing
trash, dumping.
Yeah, and your furniture. They'll steal your washing machine. They'll steal your 60-inch color TV, and they'll house it in the abandoned house. And so when you board up these houses, you're fighting all of that. And so on behalf of the Greater Detroit Restoration Project,
G-Drop,
we're asking if you would do it today, make a check or a money order out. Just put G-Drop, that's all, in all caps, on the check.
GDRP, the acronym.
GDRP, G Drop. Mail it to 17301 Livernois, Suite 405. It's very important that you put the suite on there. 17301 Livernois, Suite 405. Detroit, Michigan, 48221. And in doing that, you will be helping us to help you. You will be helping us to prevent the rape, Barry, of an 80-year-old woman or a 10-year-old girl. You will be helping us to prevent drug dealing, to prevent murder by helping us to board up these houses. We only have but so much money. Poor Barry been out here in the struggle 3 years, spending his own money, and he's running broke.
Sonny.
Now he's a white brother, he's a Jewish brother. When I met him, and he didn't eat hog, but I'm just saying the expression, he was eating high on the hog. Now he's eating much lower
I'm
on
on
the
a diet all the time
because,
now.
yeah, he spent all his money into this. I got you, Ronnie, and I know about that, spending one's own money. But we don't mind, but we need some help. G-Drop, GDRP, I'll put it in all caps, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221. Or you can call Barry at 248-417-9696, 248-417-9696, or you can call me, 313-646-3375. Help us. Help you. Help us to help you.
Thank you. You know that. Did you see the address I put here?
What's that?
That's wrong. 17321. I thought it was 17321. I've been putting down the wrong.
It's 17301.
Okay.
Right, Akila? 17301
Okay.
Livernois.
All right. This is the first I did it. Listen.
Suite 405. They got to put that suite down.
Right. That's the P.O. Box in New Term. Listen, if I just want to say, I don't know if this is news to you all about the things that Minister just said about the reasons they use these houses. You all been around. You live in the city. We're tolerating this. We can go out and rehabilitate an entire community. We have the capacity and the wherewithal to get enough volunteers to restructure a community. We don't want to do 2 houses here, 3 houses over here. We want to do all the houses on a block. If you help fund us, we will make it worth your while. Well, we can start bringing this city back. And I don't know how many times you need to see on your street these things plaguing your community before you realize the government isn't coming. I mean, we need to wake up.
The government not only isn't coming, Barry, the government is the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's really a shame.
It's the government and the lack of concern of government
No
on
question.
several levels.
No question. And I
particularly coming from Lansing and the city of Detroit.
Yeah, that's right. And Malik, there are 135 disabled children in this school.
Right.
We know about this. Roy Roberts wants to close the school down. We are going to work in this community.
You're talking about Oakman Orthopedic.
Oakman Orthopedic.
Yes.
We are going to make a, now this is going to happen sometime this month. I'm not going to give the date out because we have to have a meeting.
Right.
And we're going to finalize all this. We need help. There's roughly 125 abandoned houses in this area, but all around this school were children in wheelchairs whose parents don't have ample transportation.
And they're on walkers.
And walkers to take them to new schools. They're living in this blight, prostitution. They're taking the Johns into these houses. All the reasons that you named. A crippled child, a child in a wheelchair, has to see this, let alone go to school. This is a travesty.
And then you have the emergency manager, Barry, wanting to close this school down. We've had the opportunity to meet with many of the parents of these children. These are children who have special needs. Some of these kids have never talked 5, 6, 7 years of age. They go to this school, and because of the curriculum they got, because of the love of the teachers there, the children begin to talk. We seen the parents
They've healed.
testify to this, and the children.
It's a miracle.
The children in the wheelchairs are feeling lonely and like something's wrong with them, but they're allowed to play basketball with kids that can play ball. They're getting the love.
They don't treat them any different.
This is a school that works, Barry.
You got it.
It's a school that works.
We're not going to stand by and allow this school to get
The
closed.
curriculum works, and the emergency manager wants to close it down and send them off to different areas. And when he went to the parent group, they asked questions. Well, why are you doing this? Well, you're going to send us to these 2 different schools. What's the area like? Hey, it doesn't matter.
I made my decision and I'm closing it.
Period. And so we can't tolerate that type of behavior. So we must continue to fight emergency managership, not just Kevin Orr with a Kevin with a Y over the city of Detroit, but Roy Roberts, because, Barry, our school system has been decimated since 1999 under state mismanagement. And if we board up over there and clean up over there, it's another sign to Roy Roberts and his real boss, Governor Snyder, that people care.
We are going to do it, Malik.
Well, no, I'm saying when we
I don't care if it's one house. We're doing it.
We're going to do it. But when we do it, it's another sign that people care and leave this school alone.
All right, we're going to continue to announce this. If you can stay for 2 minutes, I just want to make a couple announcements. My friend Leanne, Malik, you never met her. She could die waiting for a new liver. She's 61 years old, and she's been on a liver transplant for quite a while. And she's jaundiced. She's turning yellow. She's not well.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I thank you. And I keep announcing this. There's a new procedure. I can't give you my liver. Right. I need my liver. But I can give you a slice of my liver. And when they implant it in the recipient, it regenerates very, very quick. This is brand new. Now, this woman has devoted half her life to serving the people in Detroit with HIV and drug addiction. She's just not some ordinary person. This is a giving person. I'm asking you, I know it's easy for me to say, I want you to consider helping her. If you call Henry Ford Hospital, 313-916-1826, and you ask for NEME, N-E-M-M-E, they can see if your tissue matches, blood type, and if you got to be between 18 and 50, so I'm over, and they don't want a piece of anything out of me, believe me, because this stuff is dried up in here. I just want to announce this Thursday at 1:00, Central High School has got a gang problem again. It's been ongoing, but something's escalating over there. Pastor Germany Bennett sent this out, so I want to try to get there. I
think they changed it to Wednesday.
Oh, I have to find it.
I got another text from Reverend Bennett.
Okay, well,
I think they changed it to Wednesday.
Okay,
but either way, I'm not going to be able to make it. I've got to go to court with a relative Wednesday.
That's if it's changed.
Yeah, he sent me the text today.
Okay, all right. One more thing.
But I support what y'all are going to do and in helping our children.
Who's leading that, do you know?
I'm not sure. It might be Brother Lawrence Kenyatta.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But I support it. I believe in it. If my relative didn't have 2 court dates, I'd be there with you.
Okay. Your relative got a suit delivered here today?
Yes, thank you. But
thank
it was
you,
delivered
Richard.
Before I got here, so I wasn't able to see Richard. But
who got the suit?
Henry Tyler got it.
Wonderful. Okay.
But Richard, we thank you. The suit came from Sherman's, and we appreciate it. Sherman's is still in business. I want to encourage people to get your suits there while they're still open and still in business.
One more thing, and I got to go, and he's got to go, and Malik's kind enough to stay on. We wanted to talk about this this school and what we're trying to do here in the city. I want everyone to know that my show, I need sponsorship. Now, I'm not begging, but I'm asking you. This show doesn't just happen. None of our shows. We buy our shows. I pay
Right.
for my show. I need your help. If you want to advertise on this show, no reasonable price will be refused. I guarantee you I'll beat anybody's price in any other station and I'll give you more bang for your buck. When I go out and I'm in an event, I will talk about your business, whatever you have going on.
You'll pass out the business
I'll pass
flyers
out your business flyers,
at
your
meetings
cards.
and rallies
You
and
got it.
marches.
No reasonable offer will be refused. Call me, 248-417-9696. Email me, barryross@comcast.net. This was an unexpected segment, but we wanted to talk about this, and I appreciate the minutes. We're going to take a quick break.
And before we go, I want to encourage people, too, to support your show, Barry. You know, I've been here 16 years, and it's not easy.
Especially if you got no other income.
I scraped and scrubbed, to try to keep my show. And I'm glad that I was able to get the DMC. And for the haters out there, Sister Keela wrote the proposal to the DMC in 2009. It was approved in 2010. So there is no, I was bought mayoral endorsement for the TV show. You got your numbers and your facts wrong. But I want to encourage people to support Barry Ross's show. Give him a check. Give him a money order. $10, $20.
Take out an ad. I'd rather they take out an ad.
Or if they got a business.
Take out an ad.
To advertise with his show. Brother Barry does get out here and fight, in the community. He fights so much, me and him fight. Me and him fought today. Yeah. But verbally. But I still love.
He ain't an easy brother.
But I
still
love Barry. Barry gets out here. I mean, really. All truth be told, when I go out here to do what I do, and y'all know what I've been doing and for how long I do it, since Barry Ross has been in the game, Barry is there. The only way Barry ain't there is the funeral of a relative or something like that. Barry's there. If I call on him, he's coming. He answers the call. Doesn't matter how dangerous, how dirty, how dark the area may be where we're marching, we're rallying, we're praying, we're demonstrating or whatever. This is a man who answers the call in the city of Detroit in the 313. I'm asking you, he needs your help. He needs your support. If you got a business, no matter how small, you might say, I can't afford to advertise. Look,
two lines. I'll
will
give
work
you
with you.
That's right.
He will work with you. Call 248-417-9696. Because, see, I was in the same spot until 2010. And, since then, I ain't been having to worry. And that's a good thing. But don't mean I don't need help now. But what I'm saying is I know what it's like to have a show. On this station, we're independent contractors.
That's right.
We don't get a check for being here. We have to bring a check.
This ain't Jay Leno.
To be here. We're independent contractors. And Barry does this out of love. I asked Barry to get a show, and he did. And Barry got his show following me on it, and I'm honored. But beyond that, Barry follows me in the streets. If I go to an alley, he's in an alley. If I'm doing the dope march, he's doing it. If I'm giving food to some needy people, Barry is right there.
In the park.
Yeah, in the park. Barry is right there.
In the dark.
In the dark.
Rock Creek Park.
Hey,
listen, I just want to say one more thing. I have made a decision. I'm going to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 3 weeks.
Damn right.
So I'm going.
Right.
I'm going.
Why shouldn't you go?
That's right. I can't wait to go.
And everybody needs to go.
And my white friend Edie said to me when I told her I was going, she says, can I go? I said, Edie, I don't think you can handle it. Let me go, and we'll see how it is. And maybe by next year you can be a little stronger to take some of this kind of truth. Would you agree?
Well, hey.
For a Jewish white woman.
You was there at Francis Cress Wilson. And Barry said, "This is rough.
Sickening.
This is
Well,
rough."
This would be a different rough.
But Barry stayed. He hung in there, but he said it was rough on him. But he's learning.
I don't like
And
this
he's
song.
learning the truth of the history of his people. He didn't do the horrible, ungodly, heinous acts that have been committed against us century after century after century. He didn't do it, but his people did it. And it's hard to
Jews.
hear that wherever your people went,
That's right.
people were living somewhere in peace, and your people came, bum rushed them,
Raped.
gangstered them, raped, robbed,
Slaved.
practiced genocide,
You got it.
enslavement. Hell, it's rough on you being a white
Yeah,
guy.
I don't ask for sympathy, but I got to be honest. I'm white. I don't ask for sympathy, but to hear all this shit is hard. It is hard to continually hear, and because the whole world, and we got to go, because the whole world was doing it. That doesn't make it any more acceptable that the Jews were doing it. When people say, "Hey, man," but everyone was doing it. So what? It hurts me to know that we are supposed to be what we call the self-righteous Jews. There's no way we could have done this. Well, it's a hard pill to swallow, I have to tell you.
But I have to give you credit for this, Barry. And me and Barry fight, like I said, and we fought earlier today, and we might fight later on tonight. But Barry is learning. Barry is growing, and it's an honor to me to have a white brother. And I'm only saying he's my brother, but he happens to be white. But the point I'm making is, and that's why I'm emphasizing white, a white brother who is learning the truth. And even though it's hard for you, you accept it, you keep studying, you keep learning, you keep coming to the lectures. He bought The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. He bought Race First, which breaks down the ideology and the works and programs.
I know more than most
of the
black folks.
Honorable
I know
Marcus
more
Garvey.
black history than the average black person living in the city.
That's right.
I really believe. Doesn't make it any righter. We got to go.
But it's an honor.
Hey,
It's an honor, Barry.
you're an honor. It's
And
an honor to know
I want you to keep learning, keep loving, keep fighting, and be patient, because things are going to break open for you.
Thank you.
But you got to stick with it.
I got you. People don't know this, but when I heard about the Detroit 300, they said, stay away from Malik Shabazz. Go talk to Raphael. But that Malik, he's a Black Panther. He's a racist. He's going to hurt you, man. He's going to set you up. And it was the total opposite.
It sure was.
Total opposite. Stay away from that brother, man. You hear him on the news. He going to start some, you know what? You better be careful.
They sent you to the wrong one.
Total opposite. All right, we're going to take a break. Thank you.
All right, I love you.
All right, I love you too.
I'm going to kick your butt later on tonight, though, on the phone.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break with Arlisa Hurd. Be right back.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
For a new career, Real Brothers Inc. and Detroit Training Institute of Technology presents Building and Construction Trades career training in the following areas: residential electrical wiring, heating and cooling, modern plumbing, carpentry and building construction, green technology building construction. This course also offers paid training, bus tickets, job placement, national certification upon completion. For more information, contact Real Brothers Inc. at 313-833-4946. Classes are forming now.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors. watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. Welcome to Metro Foodland, where you will always find courteous service. Our hardworking staff always gives their all to maintain our dairy fresh and wholesome products, cold cuts, premium meats, and of course, we have some of the freshest produce around. Check out our deli and bistro. We also carry specialty items such as Tanisha Noni, Water Station alkaline water, and much, much more. If we don't have it, just ask, and we'll do our best to get it. Remember to ask how to join our Healthy Rewards Club. Seniors and ladies, always ask for an escort to your vehicle. We'll see you soon at Detroit's own community grocery, Metro Foodland, located at 18551 Grand River. That's 18551 Grand River, near Finkel and the Southfield Freeway. Remember, that's Metro Foodland.
Well, welcome back to Mixing It Up. We're live on TV 33 WHPR. It was an unexpected segment with Malik, but we need to let everybody know that we can't do this alone. We're not working together. You know, we have pockets of groups all over the city, but wouldn't it be neat if we could all join up? I mean, I've been preaching this. I'm willing to work with anybody. And here with me now in the studio is our Lisa Hurd. Hi. And what's the name of your organization?
Our organization is After Christ Christian Center. After Christ Christian Center Church, we have a nonprofit arm of the church, which is called Transitions CDC. And the nonprofit arm of the church is an outreach to the community, providing food, resources, and all kinds of services, which it's going to be coming up this weekend, to help the community in which it surrounds.
I didn't even know all this. Mm-hmm. This is a like a birthday present. Before we get into your project
Happy
this
birthday.
weekend, huh?
I said happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What's going on with the feeding programs, and when are they, and what's the address of the church, and how can people come in and get help?
Oh, sure. The church's address is 3331 Finkel. We are right in the hood. It is between Dexter and Linwood on the corner of Fairfield. And our food pantry is open the fourth Thursday of the month from 5 to 7. And you can just come on up. You can also call the church. Can I give the number?
Of course.
313-863-8790.
I want you to say the name of the pastor, please.
Pastor George A. Adams.
We want to honor the pastor and the church,
Yes,
of course,
we
for all
do.
the great work that the church has
Yes,
been
we
doing all
do.
these years. Now, when
Absolutely.
you speak of the pantry, do they come in and literally get like a grocery bag? What do they get in the pantry on this fourth Thursday?
There is usually a meat, and it's enough food for a meal for 2 weeks.
For who?
For
How many
the
people?
family.
For the family?
Family, sure.
Free.
Free, no charge. It's difficult to say which items are in it because sometimes the items switch up, but it's usually a meat. You will
Must be
have
more than one meat. For 2 weeks?
and sometimes chicken. Chicken.
Okay.
That's usually pretty
Well,
standard.
2 weeks worth of food is a lot of
2
food.
weeks worth of food is enough food for a family.
Nutritious food.
Nutritious food.
Vegetables, fruit.
Sometimes fresh vegetables.
Wow.
That's seasonal. Well, it depends on what they have. Sometimes it may be green peppers. Other times it may be fruit. But certainly your staple goods, you have your pasta in case you wanted to do spaghetti. You have your rice. You have, of course, there are always canned vegetables. It's enough food for a family. And so that's
And how
one
many
of the
people
things.
can they accommodate? I mean, like, it's first come, first serve? But
It is first come, first serve.
what time of the day does this go on?
5 to 7.
Okay.
The fourth Thursday of the month.
Give the
every month.
address again in the name of the church.
3331 Finkel. After Christ Christian Center, we are between Dexter and Linwood at the corner of Fairfield.
And you know, my stupid self, I was on Puritan.
Puritan.
I was
Yes,
on
you were on
Puritan. I said, your
Puritan.
church doesn't exist because I had to come to a meeting. Okay, before we get into your project, what else? You got the food pantry. What else are they doing?
One of the great things that we do, we label it our Super Bowl. We have for the last, actually the last 10 years now, we used to call it a street rally, but this year it's going under a new name. It's called CORE, Community Outreach Resources Event. And what we do all day from 9 a.m. to about 10, 11 at night, we service the community. We provide food, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, juice. We also have
Where do you do
gleaners.
this? Excuse me.
This
At the
is
church?
At the church in the parking lot. It is always the last Friday in July.
Okay.
We have events for the kids, all kinds of resources, employers. We have
What do you mean employers?
folks that are hiring, folks
Really?
that are,
A
yes.
job, so it's everything.
Everything you need all on one parking lot. Health resources, health screenings, bouncies for the kids, all kinds of activities.
Wow, that's great.
Free haircuts,
You know what I want you to do?
clothes, and all of that.
I want you to continue to call me and let me know about this so we can talk about this and
Certainly
get the word out.
will.
Now,
Yes.
what's happening this Saturday and how is this happening?
Saturday, May 4th is what we call Clean Up the Block. We are going to clean our area that's surrounded by the church from 8 a.m. until however long it takes us, preferably about 3 o'clock.
You're going to do more than clean.
We're going to do more than clean. We're going to clean. We're going to remove debris. We're going to board up. We're going to put stuff out on the street so it can be picked up because, you know, Motor City Makeover is happening around the same time. So we partnered up with everybody else, and it's not just the church. We've got a coalition of folks. We've got some business owners that have said, hey, we're going to give you all cases of water. We've got the community council that has joined in on this, and we have community members from all across. I've had folks from the Osborne Neighborhood Alliance called me this morning and saying, hey, we heard about the project. We want to send over a couple folks. Focus Hope is in on this thing. So we've got a bunch of people that have said, we're going to lend a hand. Because one of the things about the community where we are, Barry, this community has not really had a voice from the people in a very long time. At least about a good 25 years, an official voice where there's an organized group of folks that are saying, hey, we're here. And so the church has been instrumental in reaching out and grabbing folks and just trying to put that together. And so we're going forward.
You got a grant.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Now, Saturday morning is the meetup place at the church when you start?
The meetup place is at the church.
What time?
8 a.m.
Okay.
And we're going to, for those, now you have to, we're asking folks that they register to volunteer. We will provide your breakfast, continental breakfast, and lunch to registered volunteers.
My God. Now, what is your program? Where do you plan on? You're starting, I want you to say this. You're starting on Dexter and the Lodge.
Yes.
And then there's the street before or after. What is that street?
That street, we're Dexter and the Lodge, going all the way over to Chalfont.
Which is 2 blocks from the Lodge.
Which is 2 blocks from the Lodge. And then the next street over, or behind where the church is on the corner of Fairfield, we're also starting at Fairfield and the Lodge, going all the way over to Chalfont. So it's a total of 4 blocks. But the interesting thing about this project, though, we've been, advertising, and we've been putting up posters and signs. And what we're asking the community to do, because it's kind of hard to engage people sometimes to get up and clean up.
You think?
So what we're asking is, if you can't lend us a hand to clean up those 4 streets, then at least get up and clean up your own yard.
There you go.
And if you do that, we're going to be providing yard kits, first come, first serve, free of charge to those people that want to do it themselves, that will clean up their
in their
area.
own neighborhood.
In their own neighborhood.
You're giving that away for free.
We're giving them
What's
the
in a yard
kits.
kit?
Yard kits is garbage bags, gloves, and a rake.
Okay. That's unbelievable. You hear this? Now, I would assume in order for them to get the kits, they need to be there early when the breakfast
They
starts.
need to be there early when the breakfast starts because once it runs out, that's it.
Do you have the number of the church, the phone number, or is there a number you want to give out if anybody's got any questions for any of this? Or
Sure. If you
run
have
it.
if you have any questions about this particular project, I'm going to ask that you not call the church, but you're going to call the project coordinator, 313-212-8808. And if you want to register, can I give the website?
Absolutely.
If you want to register, which we encourage everyone to do, please, please, please register online at www.cleanuptheblock.eventbrite, that's EVENTBRITE.com. That's cleanuptheblock.eventbrite.com.
Let me ask you a question. Just so people can learn, and I want to learn.
Okay.
This grant came through who? Do you know?
Yes, Michigan Community Resources. It's a SAFE grant. They were encouraging plenty of any community resident, pretty much, any community organization that was interested in making their area safer by either putting up lights, or if you wanted to beautify the neighborhood, or if you wanted to clean up, pretty much whatever project you wanted to do. All you had to do was they request for proposal or mini grant, so to speak, and you submitted that. They looked it over and they awarded mini grants. I believe they topped out at $5,000. I think
That's
they ranged from
wonderful.
$1,000 to $5,000.
How long does it take generally to get approved on that grant?
We were looking at roughly about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
I think that's a normal process.
How can they
6 to 8
contact?
weeks.
Where do they go to find this? What is it? Michigan Safe Grants? Michigan.
Actually, it was Michigan Community Resources, but the name of the grant project was SAFE Grant, SAFE, and I can't think of it's an acronym for something, SAFE.
So if they went online,
If they went online to Michigan Community Resources, I would encourage that. But I would also encourage, because there are a lot of funders out there, because no one group can do it all by themselves. And obviously, $5,000 is not a lot of money when you're talking about
a community.
Yes, when you're talking about
Equipment,
a community,
and you don't have
equipment.
Not to interrupt you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No equipment, and then when you're looking at the number of houses that are vacant, Barry, we canvassed the area in which we were doing from Linwood, from the Lodge Service Drive to Linwood, over to Burke, over to Dexter. We counted in excess of 75 vacant homes. That is just outrageous.
No question.
Outrageous for that number of blocks.
If you heard the minister, there's 115,000.
Absolutely.
And I became astutely aware of this. 2 years ago, we were doing a patrol for Halloween, and on the corner from 75 and 7 Mile, or 6 Mile to 7 Mile, down to DeQuinder and back around, I was blown away.
I know you were.
By the homes. And that's when I decided to start the Greater Detroit Restoration Project.
Yeah.
When I said, oh my God,
That's
I
sad.
had seen trash, and I'm not exaggerating, 15 feet high.
I can believe
I don't
it.
see that high trash all the time. But doors off, toilets in the street, toilets, couches. Oh my God.
Like somebody just walked away from it all.
That's right,
Just
a ghost
walked
town.
just walked away from it all, and that's one of the things that's hurtful. The community in which I live and attend church, and I've been in that community all my life, practically all my life, and it just really hurts to see. I have parents. We have a lot of seniors in our area. I have parents that have been there since the 40s, and to listen to them talk about
How it used to be.
what the neighborhood used to look like compared to now, it just breaks your heart.
I gotta admit, I'm 61. I've been all over this city for many, many years. My family's had a business downtown for 96 years. I've been all over East Side, West Side. I'm embarrassed. We need to be embarrassed that the government has allowed this. And I say this all the time. I really believe, and I don't know this, that during the Depression, we had more public services available
Yeah.
to Detroit than we have now. We had more police.
Yeah, you did.
We had more street lights working.
Oh my God.
And I don't care how broke we are, there's certain things that a city should have going on no matter what.
No matter what. And when you're talking, oh, don't talk about streetlights. You know, we're trying to get that get heard on that too as well. You know,
I don't feel that commissioner that came out. I'm telling you.
yeah. You know what? It's really a shame because there are certain things that just should never ever be on the chopping block,
No question.
or should never be considered to
Do you
be
know what
cut.
happened in Highland Park with the lighting?
What happened?
The city of Highland Park a few years ago owed, a few $1 million, something like that, to DTE.
Oh yeah, when they cut the lights off.
The mayor said, listen, DTE was on them, about the bill that the city owned. Why don't you just come and take 1,500 lights? Would that be cool? So they came out and literally took the entire light poles straight out of the city. So, but in the city of Detroit, most of the problems, whether probably 60, 70% of the city doesn't have lighting, it's not a light bill. The light fixtures are old, antiquated, outdated mercury vapor lights that they don't make parts for anymore, outside the fact that they're breaking into the bottoms of the structures and stealing the parts. So it's not just a bill, it's not just money. They need to rebuild the whole system. And good luck. I don't know how long that's going to take. And, they're talking about these things all the time. I don't believe any promises any politicians are saying about anything, especially a commissioner. I was at your meeting. I'm just telling you. I'm hard-pressed to believe what anyone says because very few have followed through.
Well, and that's the disheartening thing about it, because the citizens have been we can just look at everything. We can look at the school system. We can look at everything that we have been told as Detroiters, as parents in the school system. We've been told what is going to work and what somebody is going to do, just to find out later it was nothing like what you said. And so I think there is, and that speaks to a level of hopelessness. Sometimes that's just here in this community. People, it's difficult to get folks engaged sometimes because
they're beat down
too
far to the ground.
For what? What is it for? The dark light. How is it that we can live? Nobody has come up with a different idea on how to light these neighborhoods and streets. I can't tell you how many times I've almost hit somebody. What about the level of crime that we got? Does that not play?
The police station is closing at 4 in the afternoon. Now I don't care what anybody says. I'm fairly open-minded, but I really believe the one for sure weapon we have in this city to get what we want is for people to stand up and go out against these agencies that are not giving us what we need. Could you imagine if we had 20,000 people that went outside of the court, City Hall, the police stations, DTE, the media? The media is destroying us also. The media only reports what they want to report. You can have this great event coming up this weekend. They can promise you they're coming out, and then 3 murders, 2 fires on the way, and they get the tort. Because that's what sells. We should stop watching the news. We should demand everybody in the city turn off the news and stop buying the products they show on the news stations, and they need to start reporting the jobs that are going on, the organizations like yours that are doing the good work. We could change the fabric and the environment of the city ourselves if we would only get off our you-know-what and join together and come downtown and stand up against these atrocities.
And you know what? That really speaks to something. Not too long ago, we had that fire as a community.
In the 60s.
Yes. People were willing to be inconvenienced to no end to stand on principle.
Pride was instilled. The city of Detroit, the African American community has been beat down so hard and so long that pride is barely existing. That's why the level of apathy, the level of not caring, what difference can I make? What difference does it make? I'm driving down the street, and the guy in front of me throws out a 32-ounce Pepsi bottle out of the window, so why shouldn't I? He didn't vote. Why should I vote? Everyone's saying, what difference can I make? A lot. if we had a lot of individuals saying they could stand up. Do you know this summer, on the latter part of June, is the 50th year since the Martin Luther King march in the city of Detroit, and we're supposed to, the day after that date, whatever it is, I bet you Hodo knows, having another march in the city of Detroit. This is what I've maintained, that all the African American community gets pride reinstilled in your families and your homes. You need to be proud of your, remember they used to have the thing, I'm black and I'm proud?
Yeah.
Who's proud anymore? What
Yeah.
portion of the African American community in the city of Detroit feels in their heart they can be whatever they want to be? The daddies aren't in the homes to teach their sons you can be whatever you want to be.
And more than that, the mothers are distracted.
And the mothers too. Yes.
I also think that, and that's the reason why, at our church and with my pastor, we are reaching out to the community because we feel that level of hopelessness, and we need to just make people aware that even though everything seems to be going wrong around you, there is something that we can do. One of the things we said is we've got to clean up because who else is going to do it? It's got to be us. So we've got to help us help us.
Well, we're proud to have you. And,
That's right.
if you, the old saying, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
That's right.
I'm all for, I got 3 bullhorns. And I use them. I'm all for driving down every neighborhood in Detroit and start telling the people, come out, join us. We're going to do something. We're going downtown. We're going to shut down City Council. We're going to put 10,000 people around City Hall, around the police. I've been saying it for 2 years. Now I'm at the point where that's all we got left is ourselves. I'm amazed.
I've got a question. When was the last time you've seen 10 or 15,000
Are you
people
kidding me?
surrounding City
When I
Hall?
go out, there's been several protests against the emergency manager. I went out to the Department of Justice downtown on 4th Street about 3 times, 150, 200 people.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's probably one of the bigger protests I've seen. And, and then they fizzle out. Then they had a protest on the highways. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was in one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, and Minister Shabazz says this, and my credit to him, why would you go 1 mile an hour on an expressway and get pulled over when you could go 45 and not break the law? Could you imagine if we had, I'm all for this, driving up to Lansing and we all get out of our cars and leave them?
Wow.
And knock out all the transportation. We have so much power, but you're not willing to do anything about it.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
We need more than me.
Yeah.
And the people here. We need people to have a heart. How much more are you willing to lose? Really.
That's a sobering question.
Really. Listen.
Yeah.
If someone jumps me on this, listen, I'm 61. I'm not as tough as I used to be. But if you're beating, and I got a bad back and I got help, but if you're beating me down and stepping on my head, I'm telling you, I'm going to try to get back up and get right back in there. The fight is gone in you. What does it take? How much more do you need to lose? Mothers losing their babies, getting killed in a city of Detroit. They got this Mothers Against Mothers for Justice is a new one. Mothers for Murdered Children. Jesus, I tried to have an event for the families from Crime Stoppers who've lost children. You call these people, they don't want to get involved. They're afraid. Everyone's afraid. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thing about fear. You know how you conquer fear? You do what you got to do anyway. I'm always afraid when I go on the streets and stand up at a drug house protest. I'm always afraid. But so what?
Do it afraid.
Do it anyway. I say it again. You got the hero and the coward. There's no difference internally within their makeup and their character, except the hero does what he's got to do and the coward runs.
Yeah.
So if you talk to a soldier, I don't care who he is, and he's on the front lines in a war, and he tells you he's not concerned about the enemy, he's a fool. So what? So you're afraid. Look what they're doing to you now. So the neighbor next door to you gets raped, killed, murdered, whatever, and you close your drapes and you saw it and you don't do nothing because you're worried you're going to get killed, someone's got to start to make a stance.
Someone's got to start to make a stand, and that's one of the things that in our community that I really just could not take it anymore. Why should all of the criminals win? There are more of us than there is them. So why not?
question.
And I think you know what I've noticed too. Sometimes it is hard to get people engaged and get them up and get them started, but
Give them some money and they'll come
folks
up.
really like to see things happening. And when they start seeing some smoke, you may not get everybody, but you're going to get this core of people who will say, "I'm so glad somebody decided
gotta
to
see
do
it.
it." They have to see
I've
it.
had marches. When I started out, I got the Detroit Coalition Against Violence. I started out having marches for families that had murders. And we would go to the neighborhood where usually the son or the father got murdered. And we would figure out where he got murdered, and we would go around the neighborhood and march through the neighborhood. And when we would march through the neighborhood, many times did people come out of their homes and join us. Not a lot, but a few.
Yeah.
They need to be inspired.
They do.
And they need to see people doing good work. So you're out this weekend.
That's right.
Hopefully this is going to inspire some folks. I want you to give the address of the church
Sure.
and the contact information, and we got to go.
Okay, the address to the church is 3331 Finkel. We are between Dexter and Linwood at the corner of Fairfield. The name of the church is After Christ Christian Center.
Tell the name of the pastor again.
The name of the pastor is Pastor George A. Adams. And our project is Clean Up the Block. And all volunteers are welcome to come. You can call area code 313-212-8808 to register, or you can register online at www.cleanuptheblock.eventbrite.com.
This is a bad lady, and they're feeding you, Ronnie. They're feeding everybody in
We're
the morning
feeding
at the
folks.
church.
Yep, but you have to register.
I'm
We ask
impressed.
that you register.
got to
though.
register
Please
at
register.
8 a.m. Tell the name of the church.
Name of the church, After Christ Christian Center.
Okay. That's this Saturday at 8 a.m. on
Yes.
Finkel. Want to see you guys out there. If you have any, skilled labor, you got any
Yes.
generators,
We
a
need some
nail
strong
gun,
folks.
if you got a broom, if
Bring
you
it.
just got some gloves and you got nothing but a bottle of water, just bring yourself and you'll get some love and be a part of something that we need to be a part of.
That's right.
I'm going to do my best to be out there. We're going to take a break, and Arlisa,
Thank you so
Alyssa?
much. Arlisa.
Arlisa, thank you very
Yes.
much. You're
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
you. I appreciate your pastor. I'm looking forward to seeing him
Yes,
again.
he's a great man.
And we'll be back in about 4 minutes, so stay tuned. And when we come back, we're going to do something from Crime Stoppers, but I'll be back first to introduce it. So.
For a new career, Real Brothers Inc. and Detroit Training Institute of Technology presents Building and Construction Trades Career Training in the following areas: residential electrical wiring, heating and cooling, modern plumbing, carpentry and building construction, green technology building construction. This course also offers paid training, bus tickets, job placement, national certification upon completion. For more information, contact Real Brothers Inc. at 313-833-4946. Classes are forming now.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors. You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. Welcome to Metro Foodland, where you will always find courteous service. Our hardworking staff always gives their all to maintain our dairy fresh and wholesome products, cold cuts, premium meats, and of course, we have some of the freshest produce around. Check out our deli and bistro. We also carry specialty items such as Tanisha Noni, Water Station alkaline water, and much, much more. If we don't have it, just ask. and we'll do our best to get it. Remember to ask how to join our Healthy Rewards Club. Seniors and ladies, always ask for an escort to your vehicle. We'll see you soon at Detroit's own community grocer, Metro Foodland, located at 18551 Grand River. That's 18551 Grand River, near Finkel and the Southfield Freeway. Remember, that's Metro Foodland.
Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. I have to tell you, welcome back to Mixing It Up. I feel so good when I do this show. You know, I say to myself, I don't know if I want to continue having a program, and then every time I come here and people uplift me, my guests really, evoked a lot of feelings in me about standing up for ourselves in a city, which we're not doing. I need your support. This show, if you appreciate this show, we need your support. We need sponsors, commercials, donations. And, I'm not a begging man, but I'll give you a lot for your money. If you call Barry Ross, 248-417-9696, I'm going to give you the deal of your lifetime here. And not only that, you run a commercial here, it's going to be on my website. It's going to be in 2 other places online, my Facebook. You'll get continuous play. We also need donations for boarding up houses. I need a grant writer. Call me. You can send donations to 17301 Livernois, care of GDRP, Suite 405, Detroit 48221. Okay, we also have a petition to keep this Oakman school open. You can call Barry Ross. I can get you a copy. You can get these signed. We need thousands of signatures. We got about 3,000 right now. Oakman Therapeutic. We're not letting Roy Roberts take this school away from disabled children. That is a punk move. You hear me? PUNKASS move. That's right. You heard it here. That's a punk move. Any man that abuses children or women or animals is a punk. I don't appreciate that. Taking a school away that's made a difference in disabled children's lives. Come on. All right, right now, I'm going to run a series of cases with Crime Stoppers. So stick with me. I'll be back a couple minutes before the end of the show. Here we go. Crime Stoppers.
This public service program has been prepared and presented by Crime Stoppers with the cooperation of Michigan law enforcement authorities and the family and friends of the victims of the crimes described, in the hope that viewers will call in with tips which will help solve these crimes in southeastern Michigan. Crime Stoppers relies upon information provided by Michigan law enforcement authorities in the production of this programming. Crime Stoppers doesn't assume responsibility to update this public service presentation as featured crimes are solved.
Crime Stoppers of Michigan firmly believes in creating safe neighborhoods and keeping them that way by empowering citizens to help in the fight against crime. In 2011, Crime Stoppers received more than 6,000 tips and cash rewards of over $50,000 were issued, resulting in numerous arrests. Now we need your help again to capture and place back behind bars parole violators of various crimes who have violated your trust in granting them another chance in society. You can continue to help keep your neighborhood safe by calling 1-800-SPEAK-UP with a tip. If your tip leads to an arrest, you can earn cash rewards of up to $1,000.
Angelina Tricia Mendoza, convicted of identity theft, controlled substance, and larceny, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 32 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, and weighing 180 pounds. Angelina goes by the nickname of Angelina and Tricia. Charles Knuckles, convicted of armed robbery, larceny, assault, and felony firearm, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 260 pounds. Charles goes by the nicknames of Jamal Kroger, Robert Johnson, and Rodney. Daryl Banks, convicted of possession of a controlled substance and breaking and entering, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 55 years old, 5 feet 8 inches, and weighing 200 pounds. Daryl goes by the nickname of Daryl Reynolds and Dale. Derek Demond Roberts, convicted of home invasion and delivery of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 39 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 205 pounds. Derek goes by the nicknames of Derek Johnson and Johnson E. Toy. Eugene Brown, convicted of robbery unarmed and carjacking, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. Eugene goes by the nickname of Jamel Brown, Mario Brown, Refused, Ricky Jamel Gould, and Terrence Ross. Gordon Sullivan, convicted of retail fraud, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 55 years old, 6 feet tall, and weighing 225 pounds. Gordon goes by the nickname of Mickey Jones. James Rocket, convicted of home invasion, larceny from a person, and armed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. James goes by the nickname of Hosea Jenkins, Robert Jenkins, and Hosey Rocket. Jay Smith, convicted of possession of a controlled substance, larceny, unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 49 years old, 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 220 pounds. Jays go by the nicknames of Arthur Jerry, Cook Artie, Artie Buchanan, and Artie Cook. Carl Grant Matlock, convicted of fleeing a police officer, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 46 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. Leah Nora Henner, convicted of forgery and uttering and publishing, is wanted for violating her parole. She's 28 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, and weighing 250 pounds. Leah goes by the nicknames of Nilla and Aaliyah. Matthew Thomas Truder, convicted of armed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 40 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Michael Cartwright, convicted of possession and delivery of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 27 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, and weighing 217 pounds. Michael goes by the nickname of Freddie Hardrick and Khalil Williams. Cole Edward Fluellen, convicted of unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 220 pounds. Nicole goes by the nickname of Edward and Sherwood. Ricky Liddell Black, convicted of fleeing a police officer and child abuse, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 33 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 183 pounds. Ricky goes by the nicknames of Pretty Ricky, Ricky Miller, and Rick X. Warren M. Cavito, convicted of aggravated stalking, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 44 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. Warren goes by the nicknames of Donald Raymond Gilman, Michael Warren Cavito, Patrick James Baker, and Paul.
Aaron Leon Mitchell, convicted of possession of stolen counterfeit insurance certificates, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 39 years old, 5 feet 11 inches, and weighing 190 pounds. Aaron goes by the nickname of Prince. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Adrian Wilkins, convicted of breaking and entering, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 51 years old, 6 feet tall, and weighing 200 pounds. Adrian also goes by the nickname of Renardo Wilkins. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. April McCurdy is wanted for violating her parole. She is 42 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing 145 pounds. April goes by the nicknames of Carol, Charlene, Cheryl, and Lisa. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Bige E. Griffith, convicted of burning a dwelling house, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 64 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. Bige goes by the nickname of Ed Griffith. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Blas Martinez is wanted for violating his parole. He is 40 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Brian Arthur Sherman is wanted for violating his parole. He is 40 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Brian goes by the nicknames of Arthur, David, and Sherman. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Carlos Isaac Ayala, convicted of criminal sexual conduct, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 30 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 155 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cecil P. Wee Dorsey, convicted of delivery of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. Cecil goes by the nicknames of Pee-wee, Cecil Davis, and Jamaquise Jones. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cephas Myers, convicted of assault, armed robbery, breaking and entering, and larceny, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 175 pounds. Cephas goes by the nickname of Carlos Myers. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cesar Manuel Alvarez Moraz, convicted of possessing a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 28 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Cesar goes by the nickname of Edward Sepulveda. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cheryl Ann Parsley is wanted for violating her parole. She is 50 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 155 pounds. Cheryl goes by the nickname of Rochelle Bates, Tracy Eisinger, and X Ryan. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Christopher R. Smith, convicted of arson, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 150 pounds. Christopher goes by the nickname of Eric D. Smith. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Craig Clark, convicted of weapons felony firearm, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old and weighing 190 pounds. Craig goes by the nickname of Craig Stevens. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Daniel Williams is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 175 pounds. Daniel goes by the nicknames of Alvin Rudolph, Dammy Darrell Williams, and Sammy Darrell Williams. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Are you among those who believe Crime Stoppers is just another branch of the police department, the Department of Corrections, Michigan State Police, or the prosecutor's office? I used to think the same thing. Now I know it's not. Not too long ago, I was sitting right where you are, doing a 20-year bid. When I heard about Crime Stoppers, I knew they only cared about locking people up. I knew Crime Stoppers just wanted someone to snitch. I was certain they didn't care about people who called in tips being found out. Now I know what I didn't know. Crime Stoppers really does go through extreme measures to see to it that those who call in tips remain anonymous. I know because Crime Stoppers gave me, a convicted armed robber, a job, a chance to give back. Now I see how they operate with my own eyes. Even if you try to give your name, the call center located in Canada won't accept it.
Welcome back. Now, you're listening to my friend Anthony from Crime Stoppers. When you call, if you're worried that someone's watching you making a call to get that reward, that call has no ID. No caller ID. It goes in to Canada. I think it's Montreal or Toronto. No caller ID. This is the greatest. You drop a dime on them. They give you a reward. They give you a number. You go into a bank. They have no idea, again, who you are. Your identity is sealed. You are not a snitch by taking somebody off the street that raped or killed your neighbor, that's wanted, that's a child molester. That's not a snitch. Let's get it straight. I'm in a gang. I pull some moves. One of my boys gets arrested. He rats on me. That's a snitch. It's for gangs. You are not a snitch. You know, and then people say, but, you know, I don't want to punk out on nobody. Hey, man, you got a chance to save your block. You got a chance to get some bread. You got a chance to get some money. It's tax-free. You're behind in your house note. They're coming to get your car. You need a new washing machine. You got to pay the rent. You need some new clothes. You need some food. Are you kidding me? If I see something, I'm telling. You're not a snitch. If you see a murder, this is why the city of Detroit allows this environment to continue, because they prey on your fear. These gangs prey on your fear. Go ahead. Do something to me. I'm telling anyway. You call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. We got to clean up our streets. It's our responsibility. You're a single mother with 2 babies in the house, and they're controlling your street, and you're afraid to go out and get your baby some milk, and you know there's a felon on your block. You got to drop a dime. 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Crime Stoppers. You know I work with them. You know I want to encourage your involvement in making a difference. We don't have enough police as it is. We have to police our own neighborhoods. We cannot be vigilantes, but we must stand up as men and women to bring our city back. In January, we're going to have a new mayor. He's going to be somewhat powerless for several months because the emergency manager's got a few more months. I'll have to find out exactly how much longer. I think he's got 18 months. I think he served 8. No, he just got in. We'll have to find out exactly. I'll have that information. The new mayor, in the course of his term, is going to gain control over the city. We got to push the emergency manager out. We cannot wait till next year to have a new mayor to change the streets. We got to do it now. Too many children are dying. Too many children are beefing at school on the streets. My God. You got to stand up, Detroit. Listen, I'm not just running some language on you that I haven't done myself. I've been on the streets. I'm telling you. I was a drug dealer. I was a drug addict. I go out and board up abandoned homes. This isn't just some punk host that just is running a bunch of words on you. I know I do this stuff. I go out. We go out on patrols and look for murderers. That's what we got to do. Join me. Join us. Call me, 248-417-9696. Write me, email me, barryross@comcast.net. This show's going to be up in 2 days on YouTube. I'm starting a new website. It's Mixing It Up. It's going to be up within a week. It's all going to be there. Our phone lines were down tonight. I apologize. We couldn't take any calls because we've had a problem with our lines. I'll see you next week. Big things are coming. Go to that board up at that church on Finkel this Saturday at 8 a.m. 3331 Finkel, right near Dexter, between Dexter and Linwood. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Have a safe week. Thanks for tuning in. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.